Hi, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Nick Cosgrove, and I'm back with this week's No Filter Q&A. This is the episode where I answer all questions related to diet, training, and supplementation that I received over the past 7 days from our in-house clients, online clients, as well as a few of our online followers. Remember, if you have any questions related to your nutritional plan, workout program, supplements you're taking, not taking, considering taking, please feel free to email me those questions at nick@foreverfitperformance.com, or you can also DM me your questions on my Instagram at @fitcosgrove_. Okay, so let's get started with this week's No Filter Q&A with question number 1. Hi, Nick. Are naps okay to take? I'd like to take a 1 to 2 hour nap in the middle of the afternoon after work. Wondering if this will have any impact on my results with my physique. Naps are fairly controversial in the fitness industry. You're going to get some fitness professionals that are for them and some that are against. Personally, I don't have anything against naps unless they're causing disrupted sleep at night. So if you're finding that you're waking up throughout the night and you're not sleeping a good at least 6 to 7 hours solid sleep, you might want to take out that nap, because it could be the reason why that's happening is could be because you are napping in the middle of the day. Another thing, from everything that I've read about naps in general, especially a lot of studies they've done on naps over the years, the professionals recommend keeping your naps to about 30 to 45 minutes max. Reason for that is they're finding that a lot of people wake up from a nap, especially if it's a long nap, let's say an hour to 2 hours long. They feel very lethargic, low energy, groggy. So most people seem to be more productive with a very shorter duration nap, like a light 30, maybe 45-minute tops period of time. But if you're finding that you're sleeping throughout the night, no problem, then I say do it. But what I would be questioning is, why do you need it? I personally don't take naps. I don't feel I need them. And the reason I don't feel I need them, I attribute primarily to my diet. I've mentioned this before. If you're consuming a fairly healthy diet full of complex carbohydrates, healthy fats, lean proteins, and not only your macronutrients are in check, but your micronutrients, which are the quality of the foods that you are consuming, are in check, you should have loads of energy throughout the day. So there should be no reason for you to be feeling tired throughout that mid-afternoon crash that most people feel. So I honestly believe the reason why a lot of people feel tired in the afternoon has a lot to do with their blood sugar levels and their insulin levels, which relates many times, not all the time, but many times, to their diet. So I'd be looking at your nutritional plan and questioning why you need this nap, first of all. That's just me. But as far as taking a nap, I don't think it's going to have any negative impact on your physique. Again, though, if it is causing disrupted sleep at night and you're feeling groggy or lethargic for the remainder of the day, then yeah, it would be something I would take out. It's not something that I do, but I'm not going to tell you not to do it. But as far as any negative impacts on your physique, I can't see. No, I don't think that's going to have any problem whatsoever. Take them if you like them. Take them if they don't disrupt your sleep. Take them if you got lots of energy afterwards. But if you are noticing anything like disrupted sleep, low energy after a nap, maybe it's time to cut them out. And look at your nutritional plan. All right, next question. Nick, what do you think about using Ozempic for weight loss? I think it's a terrible idea if you're someone who only needs to lose 15, 30, maybe 50 pounds. You don't need it. Okay. Ozempic was designed for type 2 diabetics. Okay. That's what its purpose is for, is to help people who are type 2 diabetic. Okay. It's not designed for the average person that just wants to lose weight. Okay. Now, there are cases where people who are morbidly obese, where a doctor will recommend they go on a drug like Ozempic or even Ozempic itself, but it usually is a case-to-case based on cases, or I should say it's based on case-to-case, right? So you have to remember, when you're taking these drugs, there's always going to be adverse side effects. With a drug like Ozempic, you're going to experience things like nausea, vomiting. You can experience constipation. So these are things you have to look for, like any drug, right? You might not get those side effects, but those are side effects that you can experience while taking this drug. Ozempic's also fairly expensive. I have one client who is type 2 diabetic who takes Ozempic, and she doesn't have insurance. And I believe she's paying about $1,200 a month right now. And that's for 4 shots a month, because they do 1 shot a week. So It's an expensive drug. And I believe Ozempic got approved by the FDA back in 2017. So it's been available for the past 6 years to the public, but it's been studied for longer than that. I think it's a great drug. Like, that's my personal opinion. I think it's got lots of great benefits to it, especially for people who are type 2 diabetic. Okay. But if you're someone who's just lazy and doesn't want to go to the gym and lose the weight naturally, I don't think this drug, actually, I know this drug is not for you. Also, I think it's selfish because unless you're living in a cave, and you've heard Ozempic is hard to get right now. There's actually a shortage of Ozempic. So for people who actually need the drug, they're waiting for it, right? There's a waiting time for them, and they actually need this drug. So I think it's really selfish for someone who doesn't really need this drug and is just taking it because they want to lose weight. Just take it. I don't think, no, I don't agree with that. And actually, recently, I was reading this, I think, where was I can't remember where I was reading this, but there's now some risks that they're finding that with taking Ozempic long-term, right? Long-term, they're finding that now there's risks of kidney failure and an increased risk of thyroid cancer. And you have to remember, with a drug like Ozempic that's only been around for a short period of time and available to the public for only 6 years, there's going to be more side effects to come that we're going to find out years from now, right? Because more and more people will be on this drug for a prolonged period of time. So I really don't think you should take any drug that you don't need. Lose weight the natural way. Diet and exercise. If you need to take Ozempic because you're type 2 diabetic and your doctor prescribes it to you, absolutely, I agree. But if you're just someone who needs to lose, like I said, 15, 30, 50 pounds, get your ass to the gym, get your diet in check, do it the natural way. Stop being lazy. Okay, next question. Hi, Nick, could you please tell me the proper way to do a lat pull down? I thought you're supposed to lean back, but I see trainers at my gym telling their clients to sit up straight. Which is the right way to do it? To do a lat pull down, to engage your latimus dorsi, the proper way to do it is to lean back to about 110, 120 degrees, okay? And you stay in that position, because the goal in a lat pull down is to contract your latimus dorsi. If you are at 90 degrees, you're going to be pulling that bar down with your brachialis, your bicep, your anterior deltoid, and your rhomboid. None of the muscles that you want to target when you're doing a lat pull down. You want to target your lats. So doing a lat pull down, get yourself into that 110, 120 degree angle, stay there. I'm not suggesting that you swing and use momentum. I'm saying once you're there, stay there and focus on engaging and contracting your lats. You're going to breathe out on the down phase, the concentric contraction, and breathe in on the up phase, the eccentric contraction. That's how you do a lat pull down. I don't want to question as to why, or comment as to why certain trainers have their clients doing 90 degree lat pull downs. I have seen that in commercial gyms. All I know is that the lat pull down that I'm telling you to do at 110, 120 degrees, sounds like you're doing with leaning back, is what bodybuilders have been doing in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, from 2000 all the way up to 2023, and it's worked. And when I say bodybuilders, I mean not just men, but also women, and they get that nice V taper. Okay, so if you want to do a lat pull down properly, lean back, focus on staying in a fixed position, engage your lats, focus on contracting the lats. Don't pull with your biceps, don't pull with your rhomboids, don't pull with your shoulders, pull with your latimus dorsi, engage the rhomboids so you can retract them properly into the scapula so you can get that good contraction in the lats. That's how you do a lat pull down. Okay, next question. Nick, is it possible to build muscle and lose fat at the same time? I'm not sure if I should focus more on cardio or weights, as I would like to lose the fat around my waist before getting any bigger. You absolutely can lose fat and build muscle at the same time. I've done it myself, and I've done it with numerous clients over the years. There's a myth out there that a lot of, I don't know where it came from. It's kind of like the whole no sex before training myth, as to you have to be in a huge caloric surplus to put on muscle. Not true. You just have to make sure that you're getting good quality protein, complex carbohydrates, and healthy fats into your diet on a regular and consistent basis. That's how you put on muscle, along with a good training split and following a good proper rest and recover with sleep, hydration. Okay, that's how you put on muscle. As far as losing fat, the more muscle you have, the more fat you're going to burn in a rested state, the more calories you burn in a rested state. So it only makes sense that to put on more muscle, it's going to help you lose fat more quickly and more efficiently. So if you're trying to decide between doing cardio or weights, do both. Do your 4 times of weights a week and do your 3 to 4 times of cardio session a week. You make time for both. You don't need to be in a severe caloric deficit to lose fat, and you don't need to be in a severe caloric surplus to build muscle. Okay, you just have to make sure that you're following a good, healthy diet and you're practicing portion control. That's a huge one. So in the past, when I used to train for bodybuilding shows, during my so-called off season, all I would do is I'd eat more of the same foods. So for example, instead of having, let's say I'd have a cup and a half of brown rice in my off season, and during contest prep, I would do maybe 2/3 of a cup of rice. I was still doing brown rice, but I was just doing less of it. So you just have to watch your portion control. But at the end of the day, as long as you're eating clean, healthy foods and you're staying relatively active and you're getting in at least 3 to 4 workouts per week in the gym, I see no reason why you can't build muscle and lose fat at the same time. So don't believe everything you hear online with these myths. There's no truth to them. You definitely can. And as I said, the more muscle you're able to put on, the easier it's going to be for you to lose fat. Okay, because as I said, the more muscle you have, the more calories your body burns in a rested state. So add on as much muscle as you possibly can. All right, next question. Hi, Nick, is it realistic to lose 50 pounds in 3 months? Just another weight loss question. Yeah. I feel like if I cut out carbs and stick to an all-protein diet, I will be able to lose weight faster. Oh, yeah, you can definitely lose 50 pounds in 3 months. And if you stick to an all-protein diet, you will lose weight very quickly. Problem is you're going to feel like shit. So I wouldn't recommend doing that. You have to remember, our body, even though our body does not necessarily need carbohydrates, they do help us in the gym, help replenish glycogen storages. So you actually get a better pump in the gym when you're having good complex carbohydrates in your diet. As far as healthy fats, your body actually does need healthy fats to survive. So if you take fats out of your diet and just go on a protein only diet, your brain's not going to do very well. So that's not a good idea. So I wouldn't recommend anyone just go on an all protein diet. If you're going to do a nutritional plan, my recommendation is to do a high protein, moderate carbohydrate, moderate fat diet. Okay, that to me is an ideal diet plan to follow if your goal is to lose body fat while preserving and building muscle. Now, to go back to this extreme way of losing 50 pounds in 3 months, I mean, that to me is like, what is that, 17 pounds a month? That's a lot of weight. It can be done, but I mean, you're looking at 4 pounds a week. To me, the faster the weight comes off, the faster it goes back on again. And I've seen this time and time again. People do these extreme diets. I've seen people do these keto diets, even they lose all this weight. And then as soon as they come off that diet, the weight comes back on again because they've slowed down their metabolism, they've screwed up their thyroid, and they were following a diet that was not sustainable. So again, if it's not sustainable, it won't be successful. So my recommendation is, rather than trying to focus on losing 50 pounds in 3 months, say, okay, I'm happy if I lose what I usually get from my clients, where my goal with most of my clients when I'm trying to get them to lose weight, depending on the client. If the client has a lot of weight to lose, sometimes 3 pounds a week is realistic, but the client just has, let's say, 20 pounds of fat they would need to lose. I aim for about 1 to 1.5 pounds a week. But what I'm looking for that person to lose is primarily fat. I don't want them losing water. I don't want them losing muscle. I want them losing fat only. So a good indicator to tell if you're losing muscle is if you're losing weight on a consistent basis, but in the gym, your weights are also going down, your strength is going down, that means you're losing muscle. So would you rather lose 3 pounds a week of water, fat, and muscle, or would you rather lose 1.5 pounds of just fat and preserve the muscle and water? For me, I'd rather just lose the fat. So don't look at how much weight you want to lose on the scale. I know people love numbers, but you have to get your mind around that and try to focus on, okay, I want to make sure I'm losing purely body fat. So yeah, you can lose 50 pounds in 3 months. Chances are it's not going to be all fat. It's a good chance most of it's going to be muscle and water, and some of it will be fat. and then you're only going to put it back on when you go back to eating regularly again. So my recommendation would be to get yourself set up on a good nutritional plan. Aim to lose anywhere from 1 to 2 pounds per week, and make sure that your strength in the gym remains high and that you're losing weight at a steady pace while having lots of energy. Okay. And it might take you 6 months, but the great thing is once you get there, you can resume a fairly regular eating pattern, nothing ridiculous, but just resume a regular eating pattern that's sustainable, and you'll keep the weight off. So that to me is dieting strategically, okay? And not just going in, nosedive in, go extreme, lose all this weight and put it all back on again. Okay, so like I said, you're going to work smarter, not harder. Okay. Nick, how can I stay committed to my health and exercise? I have a hard time staying motivated 24/7. You don't need to be motivated 24/7 to stay committed to your health and exercise. What I recommend to people is to find your why. Like, why do you want to be committed to your health and exercise? What's your reason, right? And the reason I suggest that you have a why is because if you have that why and it's very important to you, you'll never find an excuse to miss a workout or to skip a meal or to cheat on your diet, right? So for example, like my why these days is no longer to get ready for a bodybuilding show. It's to be able to remain fit and healthy so that I can go through my day-to-day life. I can work 12-hour days, have tons of energy, and feel good about myself and my body. That's my why now. So it's a lifestyle goal, right? Your why, maybe you have, let's say you have little kids and you want to be able to keep up with them, or you want to be around for them. You want to be some fat slob that can't keep up with their kids. So your why might be, I need to have energy for my kids. I want to be a role model for my kids. That's my why, right? So you have to find a why that's important. And it has to be a long-term goal. It can't just be, well, I've got a wedding or I've got a stag in Vegas that's coming up in 3 months. That's a short-term goal. I mean, if that gets the ball rolling, great, but you need to find a long-term goal that's going to keep you like focused and motivated on attaining that goal or just maintaining that goal. You know, at this point for me, like I said, I'm not trying to train for a bodybuilding competition anymore. So I'm not trying to get super big or super ripped. I'm just, if I can maintain my current condition, my physique, and still feel good and maintain my health, that's my goal. And when it comes to working out, like I mentioned this before, I schedule my workouts in like any other meeting or session I have throughout the day. If I've scheduled a workout for 10 o'clock, that slot is booked off. I don't put a client in there for an in-house session. I don't book an online session. I don't do check-ins. I don't answer emails. That's my workout time. So you have to find a why, and you have to treat your workouts just like as serious as you would treat a meeting with a client or a meeting with your boss. Not up for negotiation. Are you free on Friday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon? No, I'm sorry, I have a workout at that time. I can see you at 4:30 though. So find a why, commit to your workouts, and just make sure that your why is long-term. Okay. It's okay to set short-term goals, but at the end of the day, long-term goals is what's going to keep you, as you say, motivated. I don't know about saying motivated 24/7, but it's going to keep you motivated in the long run. Because I'm not motivated 24/7, but I know that when it's time to work out, my motivation is I want to make sure that I have enough energy to maintain the lifestyle I have today. That means sometimes working 12 hours, no problem, right? Lots of energy. That means I have to wake up at 5 a.m., but I have lots of energy. So I attribute that to following, again, a clean diet, taking care of my health, getting in my workouts, making sure that exercise and health are a priority in my life. Okay. Next question. Hi, Nick. Curious as to what your biggest pet peeves in gyms are. That's a good question. I don't have many pet peeves. I would say my biggest pet peeve, though, is people that don't clean up after themselves. That, to me, without a doubt, I've never understood why someone would load up a barbell, do a few sets, and then just walk away with their weights on the bar. Or they're doing a set on a bench and they're not using a towel, and then the bench is all sweaty, and then they leave and they don't even clean up the bench. I've never understood that mentality. It's like, I don't know, would you go to someone's house and just leave your shit all over the place and then see you later? Like, you clean up after yourself, right? So that is probably my biggest pet peeve, people who don't clean up after themselves in the gym. Other than that, I mean, there's people that don't respect personal space. Yeah, I think you get that everywhere, though. You get that walking on the street too. But that doesn't really bother me because I've worked in really busy gyms for over 2 decades now. So I'm just used to that. But the cleaning up after yourself, I mean, come on. Whenever you leave a room, look back and make sure, like, okay, am I leaving this room how I found it? Like, and that's all I say, even at my gym. Like, I call people on it all the time. If I have tenants in the building that are using the gym and they're not cleaning up after themselves, I call them on it. You have to. I'm not rude to them. I'm just like, clean up after yourself. What are you doing? So that's all it takes, is this is a little bit of, this common courtesy. So that's it, though, is people who don't clean up after themselves. Yeah, I have some issues with people when they're on their phones and stuff like that. But you know what? I'm not working in commercial gyms anymore. I'm not training in commercial gyms anymore. So fortunately for me, I don't have to deal with that anymore. I get to work in a nice private facility and I get to do my workouts with people who don't do that. So it's great. But I can imagine if you're training at a commercial gym and you're a serious lifter and you're waiting for a piece of equipment and there's someone sitting there, cruising Instagram, that would be annoying. Because I've been there before, so that annoys me too, but I don't have to put up with that anymore. So biggest pet peeve, people who don't clean up after themselves. Clean up after yourselves in the gym, okay? Wipe down benches, put away your equipment, clear your bars, okay? Have common courtesy for other gym members. Okay, last question. Nick, I read your blog on cheat meals and was wondering why you say it matters what I have if I'm just having a meal once or twice a week. If it's only 1 or 2 meals, is it really going to make that much of a difference? Yeah, it's probably not going to make that much of a difference, but it's not that 1 or 2 meals are going to make a difference at that time. It's the chain reaction that 1 or 2 meals creates. So for example, this goes back down to the micronutrients again. If your cheat meal is a burger from McDonald's, first of all, a burger from McDonald's, the reason why it's cheap is because it's cheap food. It's cheap ingredients. It's not good quality beef. So what happens when you eat food like that is it usually tends to make your stomach very bloated, makes you feel very lethargic. It really just sets you back. And that can really have an impact on your workout the next day, right? Because now you're feeling very tired. You're in a food coma. You just have no energy. It's like you're hungover. Whereas if you have a good cheat meal, like I took a photo and I put on my Instagram the other day, a photo of brown rice sushi. That's my cheat meal. I know that might not sound exciting to a lot of people, but I feel good on that. I'm eating fish, I'm eating brown rice. I'm having more than I usually would have in one sitting. And the next day I feel great. I feel really good. I actually feel better. So it's good quality food. It's good quality fish. It's a good quality brown rice. I actually go to a sushi place that uses organic fish. So it's a little bit more expensive than your regular sushi, but it's good food. And I only do it once a week. So that's where it matters, because having shitty cheat meals like McDonald's or Pizza Hut or Oreo cookies or anything like this fast food junk crap, it's only going to create problems for you the next day. So that one cheat meal, even though it's one meal, now it's had an impact on the workout the next day. And it might even have an impact on your diet the next day, because maybe if you're feeling bloated and lethargic, maybe you miss a meal because you're not hungry. And now that sets you back your workout the next day. So that's where I take issue with cheat meals that are not done properly. So you want to be strategic with your cheat meals. It doesn't have to be, like I said, you don't have to have a filet mignon, but just make sure if you're going to have something like a burger, at least go to a restaurant where they're using good grade A beef. Don't go to like A&W or some shit show like that. Like, have a good quality cheat meal. That's all I'm saying. Can be anything you like. You can still do pasta, but don't do like SpaghettiOs from a can. Go to like an Italian restaurant and get like a nice pasta dish. Like, do something good food. That's all I'm saying. Okay, but yeah, no, you can do whatever you want. And like I said, though, like most people in my experience, when they do shitty food, eat like shit, feel like shit. And that's what happens. And I find that it creates a chain reaction. The day after you feel like shit, maybe, you don't eat as much of the good food, and that's going to impact the day after that. So now that's impacted 2 workouts. That's why I don't recommend cheating with shitty food. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's it for this week's No Filter Q&A. This episode will be going up on Tuesday, August the 8th. As a reminder, if you have any questions related to your nutritional plan, your training program, or supplements you're taking, not taking, considering taking, please feel free to email me those questions at nick@foreverfitperformance.com, or you can DM me your questions on my Instagram at @fitcosgrove_. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting my business. And as always, thank you for supporting my online coaching app. Thank you all so much and have a wonderful evening. Bye for now.